Duckies and Dice Fiends, welcome in. I am Kay, one of your co-hosts for the Tuesday Table Talk Show. We are here. We are doing the thing. We are doing it live. As always, David is just going to exhaust himself. I've never seen that much of a jazz
I'm gonna
hands.
get so tired. I'm so tired.
We'll do most of the talking, David.
All right. So welcome. We don't have a lot going on the channel right now. You know what's going on in mine, David's life. You know why. But we're hoping to have more stuff soon. We do have another incredible guest next week. But that's not what you're here to hear about. David, who the heck is you and what the heck is we doing here so we can get on to our awesome guests?
Hi. I am perfectly willing to disparage Jerry Seinfeld by name. He can sue me with his $1 billion. But no, hi, I'm David. This is the chaotic, wholesome Tuesday Table Talk Show, where every week we talk about TTRPG stuff, how to be a better player, how to be a better GM, how to be a better person, all with a focus on intersectionality and
Almost. You were so close.
Look, I've gotten it right for like 50 episodes straight now.
You have. Very proud of you.
All with a focus on intersectionality and inclusivity so that everybody can have a good time.
Excellent. Thank you, Bubble Rocket, for the follow. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Rex, thank you for the resubscription. And, yeah, Tuesday Table Talk Show. We talk all things TTRPGs, and that includes cool shit that other people are doing in the space. So we're going to jump right on into it with our incredible guests, Grant and Jien. Tell us, y'all, who the heck is you, and what the heck do you do that's got you here to talk to us about this thing that you're doing?
Incredible question. A lot of begging, a lot of constantly DMing K, heinous shit.
There were many forms. Like, yes, please fill out this form. Please dot this I. Please fill out this form.
Me responding back, do you know who I am? K saying no, what do you mean? Hi, we're Grant and Jien. I host a podcast and a Twitch show called Game Master Monday. On the podcast, we do a new one-shot and a new system with a new cast every episode, and we post every other week with occasional like 4-part mini-series. Really great if you have like short attention spans and don't want to jump into a really long show with a lot of history behind it. We also run a Twitch channel called Game Master Monday, which features guest game masters running the mini series of their dreams. And Jan and I do a little show there called Castaway, which is a TTRPG charity reality show, very much so ripping off Survivor, but if you could die. And this is my co-producer, Jien.
Hi, I'm Jen. Grant pretty much covered it. I am an actual play performer, producer, project manager, occasional overlay designer, and I hit buttons and make sure that no one, well, it doesn't always work, but I make sure that things run smoothly over on Castaway. And that's me.
Jien is producing every show, I think. I did the math the other day, and I think it's every show.
Every Twitch show.
Yeah.
The podcast is still your problem because I don't know shit about audio.
But every Twitch, that's all Jien.
Yes. It's almost as if when you asked me to come on and be Twitch producer, when I agreed, I figured I would simply come on and be Twitch producer.
Oh, I don't just mean on Game Master Monday. I mean every show, including this one.
I do not.
Where we got a real bastard energy case. Stop us anytime.
I am one of many talented producers out there. I am far from the only one. Please don't put me in too many things. My calendar is already so full.
Yeah, I have dibs.
Yes, Lurking Rider says, that is wild with doing a new crew, a new game every other week. Kudos to you.
The space is bigger than you think it is.
It's so big and yet so small.
Yeah. So, we need to hear about all of this stuff, but obviously, let's start with Game Master Monday. Give us a quick rundown.
Sure.
And a little bit of a deeper dive, pretty please.
Yeah, Game Master Monday is kind of born out of As many TTRPG shows are, you get into a new hobby during the pandemic, and then you start thinking, well, I know how to make a podcast. I mean, I was very much so inspired to start a TTRPG show because I've been doing a few previous podcasts in a few different places. I was on a website called Holyfield for a while, which I don't think exists anymore. But I was kind of a wannabe sports journalist writing sports fan fiction on a podcast for a while. Jien's making a face like they didn't know that.
I
Surprise.
did.
Cool. Yeah, if you ever want to hear baby me talking about sports in an alternate reality, you can go find alternate Jersey, Jien. Have fun. And then I did another podcast during the pandemic just to keep myself sane. And during that time period, I ran into a show called Rude Tales of Magic. Because the comedian that I liked was the game master for it, and I didn't know jack about D&D or TTRPGs or anything. And when they said it was going to be a D&D show, my initial reaction was, fine. I guess I'll give this a try. And then I wound up loving it. I learned about loving it as like a vessel for storytelling and doing cool improv things with an element of chance. So I just wanted to make one for a while, but just couldn't rally enough people to want to make like a long form project because I mainly had my actor friends here in Vegas and we were all busy and in our 30s, some of whom are parents, and they're like, I can't commit to doing something every week long form. So I'm like, okay, what if we just do a bunch of one shots for a while? And that's where the idea comes from. So we just kept playing different one shots every month or so. Eventually I started Game Master Monday as its own podcast, and now here we are 2.5 years deep, and we primarily run indie systems, a lot of different members of the community coming on to do the show, various tiers and size caliber of person. Jien, do you have a question?
Yes. Why Monday? Is it for the alliteration?
Okay, so the original concept of this was on Fridays actually, because Friday was my day off and it was called Fantasy First Friday. But then when I started doing this more regularly, my schedule changed and I was off on Mondays. So I had to think of something for that day of the week instead. So hence why Game Master Monday was born. And now I don't have Mondays off either, but the brand is too far deep now. So we just stick with it.
So when we first started this, we were actually calling this Choose D&D.
Yeah, see?
But we didn't want it to just be D&D, right? And people got like, oh, well, I want to talk about this other thing. And it's like, no, okay. No, we got to change it. Also, welcome in, Lady Luck. Thank you for hanging out.
But yeah, that's the origin of the show. And now we've been doing this for a while, and now we work with a lot of the cool independent creators and podcasters, and we have a whole Twitch stream now, just slowly building an empire that I'll use to conquer the world one day. And that's how we got here.
Rocket says, take away from the show. Don't name your show after a day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Well, not if the day of the week is when you have off. Naming it after a day of the week because you like that day of the week is fine.
One of the taglines I originally considered for this show was making your Mondays not suck. But then I kind of hated it because it kind of sucks as a tagline.
Well, it's like the productivity software now, like Monday.com, because everyone loves Mondays.
Like it's like the low-hanging fruit joke for sure to acknowledge that the day of the week sucks.
Branding. I will say one of my friends, David, this is Jess. She does a talk show or a podcast called Stupid Little Games where she interviews game devs about their jobs and then invents a new game for them to play based on their interests and personalities at the end of it. And she specifically releases it on Tuesdays so she could say see you next Tuesday.
That would have been smarter. That would have been smarter. We should do that. I'm going to change the show again.
Trying to think of anything that would work for like Friday or
Fantasy First Friday. I tried it. It's all right.
What matters is the alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can give one tip for naming your show, for those of you who want to, don't pick an abbreviation that another much bigger, very famously huge YouTube show uses. Very fun to be on social media and shorthanding Game Master Monday to GMM. And finding people who are like, "You mean Good Mythical Morning?" It's like, no, I don't mean whatever.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, my eyes definitely went wide the first time I heard a British person talk about the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Oh, sure.
I was like, huh? What? Huh?
They have
Yeah, if
what
you're going to
over there?
release something around TTRPGs, don't come up with a title that abbreviates to CR. It's
Right.
not going to go well for you. It's
Yep.
just not going to
Yeah,
go well
it's
for
it,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Or D20. It's just not. It's just not going
It's
to work.
tough. It's
Taz
tough
has
out
probably
there.
taken 2, I think.
I have challenged Rhett and Link to a duel for the acronym, though, so we'll see if they ever respond.
Okay.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
believe in you.
You're coming with me, by the way, Jien. We have to learn how to shoot pistols.
Oh, I have a recurve bow like in my bedroom.
Yeah, close enough.
All I got.
I mean, one's a lot quieter.
Definitely.
That's true.
It's true.
They'll never
and it'll hurt
know.
more probably.
They'll never know that Jien got Link if we use the bow.
Depends on caliber.
Squirt guns at dawn. I love
Work
it.
guns at dawn. Yes, sold, absolutely.
Whoever's the
The
wettest
Eldritch
has to
Pod
change their
Blast.
show name.
Eldritch Pod Blast is
Oh, all
excellent.
right, I'll go change my names.
New show idea. Day off discussing stuff. And whatever day that happens to be.
You know, I guess
Yes.
that would have been some kind of sense.
Day off discussion.
Damn.
Yes, absolutely. CBT is perfect.
That's another
No.
one that kind of raised my eyebrows when I heard like someone was like, "Yeah, I went to therapy today and I got some really great CBT," and I was like, "And you're walking straight? What happened here?"
See, the opposite happened to me. I had someone be like, "Oh yeah, like I did some CBD yesterday," and I was like, "Oh yeah, CBT. I've heard of that. I took psych." And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I lived in New York for a while, and there's college there. City University, New York.
Cooney, yeah.
And like the first time I saw that on a display in the subways, I did like a triple
Yep.
take, and then was on a networking call the other
Yep.
night with someone who went there, and I'm like, I can't. No one else is okay.
Yep.
I can't.
What kind of devil town is
Cooney,
this?
not to be confused with the other CUN word. Not to be confused with SUNY, the State University of New York. Hi, I'm
Yes,
also from New York.
yes. Yes, welcome on Inside Crab. Yeah, abbreviations are fun.
That'd be my pro tip. Don't name a show after a very famous thing. But I mean, it's worked out for us. People don't seem to get us too confused. I
I'll
guess
be
I'm not.
real, I had never heard of the other GMM until about 5 minutes ago.
That's
So, you know.
crazy.
I had no idea. So for
We're
what it's
not,
worth,
not a
you know.
YouTube kid.
No, I wasn't. I was a pirate shows online and play video games on the computer, which probably ended up ridden with viruses. Kid.
Can you elaborate pirate shows online? What do you mean pirate shows? Like what pirate? Like One
Yoink.
Piece or?
Yeah,
No,
yoink.
yoink. Raising the
Oh,
flag.
like
I see what-
stealing. I
Yes,
see. I thought you
yeah.
were watching shows about pirates.
No, well, I mean, did I watch?
There were a few of those.
I mean, I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't think I ever watched shows
Did you
about
pirate
pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Like, I never watched Our Flag Means Death, right? Like, I never watched that.
Mm.
Oh, you should.
I've heard good things. I just
It's
never got
actually
around
gay.
to it.
Like it's not just teasing. Like it's not just fan service. It's actually
Yeah,
gay.
I've heard.
Pirates of Darkwater. Ooh, you're
I
throwing
don't know
me
that one
back
either.
lurking right here.
Listen, if
I
I
can't say
could
it's
buy,
good, but I watched
if
a
I
lot of
could
it.
buy one IP and relaunch it as a TV series, as an anime, as a movie, I don't care. It would be the Pirates of Darkwater.
Why
have
don't we
never
do
heard
a
of it.
Pirates of Darkwater TTRPG, David? Why don't we fix this?
Well, now I gotta write a notepad, and I'm gonna title it something like I don't have enough modules to write.
Prince Ren, here for it. All right. So yeah, there was a great. I want to hit this one. Chat is just fine. Hey, Baba Yaga, welcome on in.
John Wick.
Thaco, talking happily about cats. The O is silent.
Look, we love cats here. We just spent like a good 10 minutes talking about cats before we came live.
There will at least be a cat between Jien and I. There will
Yeah,
be a
I've got
cat.
2. Kay, I think, has 2, right? Yeah.
But one is a ghost. One does not like to be perceived.
Oh, yeah. One just sits
sure.
over here. One sits here.
Flanked by cats.
And Grant's got a dog that we might hear squeaking in the background at some point.
I took his toy. He's very mad at me.
You
How dare.
monster!
Well, he comes in my office whenever I'm like streaming or talking, and then he just like picks his loudest toy and just does it next to me. Like, doesn't bother me at all during work. Just sleeps peacefully in the corner. I go on live and he's like, have you heard
No, the
my
fuck you
favorite
don't.
song?
That is usually Jareth. Again, I am shocked that he is not in his third co-host spot.
It happened during Castaway like a few weeks ago. Like, I was just trying to talk through something, and he had a toy, squeaked it, took it from him, found another one, took that from him, and then he found a third one, and I had to take that from him. Poor, like we had Nala J Wu on the show, and they're like, "Does anyone else hear us squeaking?" I'm like, "It's me. I'm sorry."
I was part of an audio drama. I was trying to record lines for said audio drama when Gilmore decided it is my time to just run around and make my bell jingle. And of course, this microphone is really great at isolating sound, except it fucking loves the bell jingle. I kept having to like pause.
Just
Done
like,
yet?
fucking
Nope.
done yet?
Okay,
Grant.
now I can. Nope. Pause.
Grant, was it Castaway Interns where we had a cat just fucking yowling?
Oh
The intern one?
no, I think it was Desert, because that would be Kendo's cat.
Yes.
Kendo or Kendrick from Tales Yet Told was on Castaway for a hot minute. A brilliant
Yeah.
performer, brilliant GM. I'm pretty sure they just have a cat who is like trying to like uncat itself, because like it has like this howling meow that you cannot do anything about.
Hey, man.
And it just sits there and meows in the corner behind Kendo the entire time. I've been in a few streams and games with Kendo. He's here. You're
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Meow is generous for what it is. It is a yowl.
Jareth does that. Jareth screams. Fortunately, unfortunately, his time to do that tends to be like between midnight and 5 a.m.
Yeah, see, Pippin doesn't meow. He kind of chirps and trills a little bit. Cass doesn't really meow that often unless he's feeling neglected, in which case he'll go yell at my roommate's door because he's not allowed inside and he knows that. And then when he realizes that I'm getting ready for bed, he'll start following me around yelling at me. And then if I want him to stop, I have to get into bed and let him make biscuits on my back for about 10 minutes, and then he fucks off.
Yep.
Cats are exhausting.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm a dog person.
I am all cat person. And again, the life pro hack is if you are a person who has to take medication and you're not good about remembering to take your medication, give your cat a
Yes.
treat when you take your medication.
Yes.
The cat will remind you.
Also, Grant, I will say, cats are self-cleaning and you don't have to walk them. So,
I like the walk. It gives me a chance to think about Castaway.
okay. Grant's out here being like, I touch grass sometimes.
Yeah,
Look,
you should try it.
my oldest nemesis exists outside. It is an eldritch being as old as time
The sun.
that will outlive all of us. Yes,
Jerry
the sun.
Seinfeld.
Whoa. Yeah, also Jerry Seinfeld. Look,
Jerry Seinfeld.
I recently had a hospital stay, and one of the TVs in my room was stuck on TV Land, which runs Seinfeld reruns from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m.
Your own personal
And-
hell.
While I had a deep hatred of Jerry Seinfeld before, having seen 2 whole episodes of Seinfeld, and I was like, why do people think this is funny? This is why do people think Jerry Seinfeld is funny? But then to have 3 hours back to back every night for like 3 months straight, he could catch these hands, okay, in Minecraft.
Yeah.
In Roblox. We're boycotting Minecraft, so he can catch these hands in Roblox.
I mean, in theory, we're boycotting Roblox too because, oh God, some shady things happen in Roblox.
Roblox is,
Okay.
as a former DeviantArt moderator,
Okay.
Roblox is not a good place to be.
Catch these hands in like Animal Crossing. I don't know.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
You're right.
There we go. Perfect.
But all right, we have touched on this a couple times, so I'm going to make sure before we wander away. I'm sorry, David. I know it was going to be a good tangent. Tell us about Castaway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Besides
Castaway.
the Kendos in it.
Besides that's the main selling
We love
point.
Kendo
Come
here.
see Kendo in 2 episodes
Kendo is
of Castaway.
great.
I was gonna say Kendo's already dead. Like,
Spoilers. Okay, whatever. Castaway. So we're in the second season of that right now. Castaway was born. I've had an idea for a while where I've been like, let me start from the beginning. It's cat time.
Yeah.
On Game Master Monday, the podcast, we ran a system that's called Castaway. It's by Afterthought Committee, a great designer, fantastic folks, good friends of ours. And the game Castaway is very much so like you're stranded on a desert island and you're trying to survive. Very much so the Tom Hanks movie, Lord of the Flies, that type of stuff. And we ran it for the show with a really cool cast. We had Dusty Hill from Goblets and Gays, Fiona from What Am I Rolling, Star from Characters Without Stories, and Julianne from Wing Women. And just a really dynamic, fun cast. We played around a lot. There was a haunted skull on the island. They got a plane and they escaped. And the system just kept sticking with me. And I've also been a fan of the reality TV show Survivor for as long as I can remember. I was there when it launched in 2000 to watch the first season and watched it off and on for years. And I've always kind of wanted to like do something in this space that was like, what if we found a way to do Survivor as a TTRPG? And I just had Castaway just sitting there in the background thinking about it. And I was like, we could just like do this backwards. As I'm thinking we need a TTRPG that explains how to do votes and challenges and stuff. Like, no, the game is they have to survive. All I have to do is bring the flavor to the group. So you're basically playing Castaway underneath this voting, social deduction stuff. You're using all the mechanics of Castaway that you would use to like get food and water, and you're supposed to keep yourself alive, and you take conditions and die, while also thinking like, I also have to vote these people off, or maybe even kill them if I want to. So that's kind of where the idea came about. I just was not smart enough to produce it, because our Twitch at that point was very much so me and my sister winging it every now and again. and she and I had talked for a while, like, if we did this, I would need this kind of camera and this type of stuff, and we need to figure X and Y out. And she was like, that sounds like too much for me. I'm not going to do that. Fortunately, we had just done a live mini series with Jien, which the name escaped, as meaningless as Stardust. What's the name of the show?
Meaningless as Stardust, or affectionately as Meaningful, because Grant fat fingered the enter key before the phrase was finished.
Yeah. So now that's just in my lore forever. But I knew Jien was on that show, and everyone, you know, that's worth their salt is always like, Jien's a really great producer. So if you're really stuck on this, you should ask them for at least advice. And I asked them I whacked my mic as hard as I could. So I asked them about it and just like kind of gave the spiel, the pitch. We met in a Zoom one day, and they were like, I want to do that. Just let me do it. At least that's the story from my side of the fence. I don't know how you felt, Jien. I could have.
I mean, we've established that this reaction kind of went both ways. The oh shit, they want to work with me reaction. Like Grant's like, hey, I want you in this, and I'm like, why? I'm just a little guy. But I had a wonderful time with As Meaningless as Stardust. With all the love in the world, a white dude coming up and being like, hey, I want you to be on my channel, was like a little like, I don't know you, but I'll check it out. And I was like, hey, who's on it? And he was like, insert diverse cast here. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Part of the ethos, baby.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then afterwards, when he was like, "Hey, I have this idea," and like, I have like production questions. I'm just like, he just keeps telling me these things that he wants to accomplish, and I'm just like, you have to let me do this. I want to do this. This is a fun challenge. I want to do it. And then I essentially shoved myself into Castaway, and I was like, "Hi, I'm here now, and." All of these logistics that you're going to have to do, I'm going to make them show up on screen. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to figure it out.
Jien will message me every now and again with like another idea they have to make the production cooler. And I'm like, if you're willing to do that, that'd be awesome. And they're like, I love making my life hard. Give me a second.
Yes. Honestly, one of my favorite things, we've obviously only had 2 seasons so far, well, 1.5, 2 seasons so far of Castaway. Plus the interns one shot.
Yeah.
But every iteration has gotten more advanced tech-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously we started out, it was pretty solid. It was an 11-person Candace, hi! It was an 11-person cast. It was Grant and then 10 contestants. Obviously the cast did shrink as time went on, so we couldn't just keep, for example, the GM and 10 people overlay, because at some point, it's just going to be a few people and then a bunch of like blank screens. But we only had like a full cast overlay. We never had like the confessional cam. That was something that we added this season that I think it ended really well. Not only because it helped to center the right person, but also because I got to put Easter eggs in the background.
It's so good. I if anyone went through like the Castaway progression, you can see Jien just trying new tricks and they all smack. So like, season 1, I was like incredibly happy because we had an overlay that felt like we were on an island, because that was the whole, it was only going to be like a one-time deal too. Like Castaway was going to be like a one-time thing. We raised a bunch of funds for Trans Lifeline because things were about to get really bad in the country, because it was back in January, and we're gonna walk away from it and it'll be great and we'll have done it and that'll be it. And the longer it went on, we were just like looking at each other being like, we should do this forever, right? We should keep doing more of these. And I think a large part of that is just, working with Jien is such a dream for me, because we have very similar energies and we feed into each other's madness a lot. So
That's
I'll
both good and bad.
For better or for worse, yeah.
I think it's great and I have no problems, and one day I'll die on camera.
You can't do that. I can't change the overlay fast enough to turn your name into my name.
Challenge accepted.
I love the idea that if I die, you become the host of Castaway.
I'm gonna be Chet, but spelled Chette.
Ah, I like that. Shit. Shit. But no, so like the island looks great, and we have like different overlays for like the team portion of the game, when we merge the teams together, when there's a final 3, when we had a jury that came in. So like Jien's making overlays like crazy. And then we get into this season and we're like, one of the things we feel that was missing from the first season, and that kind of makes Survivor what it is the confessional camera, and players getting a chance to explain what they're doing behind the scenes to the people at home, because they are allowed to, message each other in the private discords and scheme. But, you don't see that. You only see the results of that in the stream. So we give them these confessional cameras, and Jien knocks it out of the fucking park, because it gives you like a window into their psyche. They're the only person on camera. There's fun Easter eggs in the background. And this season we're on the desert, so everything's kind of like Western cowboy theme, which is something I enjoy quite a bit.
I'm gonna be real though, if you watch the first episode of season 2, you're gonna see Jen discovering that the stream deck has a very specific bug that forces you to open it when you are getting ready for a stream. Otherwise, it will not know what assets to point to. And I did not realize that until we got on stream, and I hit the button and it just did not. So that was fun. But you can see a couple of instances of me wrestling with the fucking stream deck.
I think it adds
And
personality.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to talk about. I was just talking, who was I talking with about, like, part of production, part of Hey DC, speaking of production, producer to the
Right.
stars, DC Lasser's here.
Oh shit.
Like, part of being a producer, part of streaming in general, is just figuring out what went wrong and how to fix it on the fly, or how to not let that go wrong next time. And like, one of the really important things I've really stressed to people is you cannot prepare for everything ahead of time. Like, you could make all the plans you want and something completely unexpected will go wrong.
Uh-huh.
I
Live
was
TV.
literally just talking about this on. There was an online event called FOMOCon. It is what it sounds like. When all the cool kids were off at Gen Con, the incredible Zoop machine, Zoop organized FOMOCon for the ones who couldn't make it, and there was like a production panel that I was on along with Shadow Sylvia and Onduin. Absolutely incredible producers and project managers. And we were just talking about how, like, in order to be a producer, the only thing you have to be able to do is function under pressure and be able to troubleshoot live, and know when to be like, okay, we're gonna cut to break for 10 minutes and not be afraid to do that.
And I can't. That's why I don't do it. I can
That's why I
only
do it.
function as a game master under stress. And even then, sometimes I forget the rules of the game I invented.
Yeah.
That's as most people on the channel who hang out here know, but we've got a lot of new folks tonight. Thanks for coming over to support Game Master Bundy and Castaway.
Thank you, homies.
I spent 17 years as the community manager and lead moderator for DeviantArt. So
We thank you for your service.
pressure and yes, you're welcome. I'm sorry, I tried.
There's only so much you can do
wait.
in certain situations, right?
Well, I mean, I'm
You're
also
welcome.
like,
I'm sorry, I tried.
I
I'm
do not
very-
hold you responsible for Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? We're just going to leave it at that.
I'm gonna
I
say
still have not
something.
seen any of. I still have not watched any of the Sonic movies because the Sonic fandom. I
It's
can't.
so dark.
To this
It's
day,
so dark.
I cannot. Like, Idris Elba is the voice of Knuckles, and I still can't watch it. That should tell you all something.
I'm gonna say something, and if this flashes you back to like 2014 Tumblr, I'm so sorry. But justice for Mod Silver.
okay, now I'm leaving for real.
And
3, 2, 1. Grant kicks me off the channel.
Well, Jien was the producer for Castaway, and then the incident happened.
we're now hiring a new producer. You're not paid.
Well, DC's a producer, right?
You need a lot of spunk, and you need to put up with me. But I don't know. I feel like, the production stuff and just like doing the show in general, I'm a very big advocate of like, your art should suck a little bit. I think
It doesn't
it's,
suck a little bit. You're playing it safe.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Perfection is such an unattainable thing to strive for. And if it's
Usually-
something that's important to you, I have to assume you're on a board of directors or something. And because the whole point of making art is to slowly get better at it and find your voice and try new things and do wacky stuff. And sometimes it won't work, and a lot of the time it will. So like, whenever Jien's like, don't look at me, I made a mistake, I'm like, the mistake is going to be so fun and live in lore forever, and we're going to remember that time that Juicy was 10 people, like it's the kind of thing I love. And we're running a really ambitious program. So Castaway has 10 players at the beginning of it, which is a big number
So
to
many.
balance as
So many.
In any capacity, as a
I can
GM,
barely
as a fellow
fit 4
player.
people on this screen.
And you
Well,
have to
Wizard.
make. So Grant, at the end there's what 2 players and 5 jury members, right?
Yes.
So I have to make an overlay for. I don't have to make an overlay for every single iteration, but it is kind of like there's going to be a point when there's 11 people on screen, 10, 9, 8, 7, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes the overlay will update as like mid game. So like it's a lot. Personally, I fucking love that we ended up pulling Sylvia in behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
During season 1, I was doing the overlay, I was doing the production, and I was keeping track of donations. I didn't mind it. It was super fun. I'm however extremely, extremely glad that we pulled in someone to keep track of donations, because the level of reception, like we had a wonderful reception for Trans Lifeline back in January and February. since then the show has gained more traffic, mostly due to Grant being awesome.
It's because I'm casting people with name recognition.
That's partly you being awesome. Fuck off.
Fair enough. It is
But-
cool to see Castaway's cred grow. I was
It's been
wandering
so
around
cool.
Gen Con and people I don't know were walking up to me saying how cool Castaway is. Because,
Yeah.
you know, you see it in spaces all the time. People are like, we should figure out a way to make XYZ into a TTRPG. And I have the unique brand of insanity that's like, I could do it. I can absolutely do it. You know, a part of one reason this show kind of exists is because I would see people on a larger platform than me kind of speculating about doing it. And then I'm like, I have a system for it, though. I know how to make it function. And then you see, and then I pull in those people who are speculating about trying it onto Castaway. You know, so it's really cool and gratifying. And it is a madhouse in there. I super love that we have Sylvia on our team now because she is not just tracking donations, but she kind of acts as like the show's cheerleader in our chat. So she's in there like doing polls, posting the emojis or whatever they call them on Twitch, reactions. I don't know. And
These are
emojis.
Yeah.
sure, I'm 34. I can't be bothered to learn anything new. And she's in there just like posting all the hype and reacting to the big moments and getting the chat on our
Just keeping the
side.
community engaged.
And she
Incredibly
started off as a
professional.
player. You know, she came in to be a player on season 1, and her character concept was, I should talk about that shit. I have so many things about Castaway in my brain. So a big part of Castaway, the system, is every player character has a secret they're holding on to, and it's a secret that if it gets out, would be detrimental to them winning the game. So Sylvia, and they have to choose their own. They have to pitch me their own secrets. Sylvia's from Roll D5 was the one who came up to me and said, I want my character to be a production plant. Like just someone who was in there specifically to cause problems and be the eyes of production. So she got the fun secret mission of getting a message from me, the producers, every week was something that they wanted production to focus on. And there was a budding showmance. So we sent a message to Sylvia's character to be like, we need this to be the focus of the episode. So you either need to feed into it or break it up so that the people at home will talk about it. And boy, did she, and it got her sent home.
Yeah.
But then
now
after-
she's actually helping produce the show.
Yeah, so like in a roundabout way, we've continued the bit by promoting Sylvia to producer. So
And let me
now
tell
she
you-
actually is a production plant.
Not having to constantly keep my eye like I never thought I would have to say the phrase 2 monitors isn't enough, but that's how it is producing Castaway. Grant,
I have
you're not
3.
here for this.
And
What?
would kick a very small puppy for a 4th.
Hey, Grant's got one.
My puppy's pretty big. He's pretty tall. He's got legs.
Isn't he like a fluffy wiener or something?
He's a dachshund corgi mix, so he's taller than most dachshunds.
Oh, he's a coxswain. Anyway,
Aren't we all?
I mean,
Is-
bad.
Is there a coxswain chair in the
yes.
corner?
Yes.
Actually, yes. He's in it right now. He's just
Well,
watching
no,
me,
we-
guys. I don't know what this is about.
Dave
Grant,
and
I
I
don't-
run charity one-shots just about every year. We didn't get to do it this holiday season. But for the first couple, I was GMing, running production, and running donations.
Oh my God, how?
Hard. It's so hard.
My unique form of neurospiciness.
I'll do it. Yeah.
That's big true. Before we had GN, it was just pretty much me. We would do a charity stream every now and again just because if we're gonna go live, I want there to be like some incentive or something cool that we're doing alongside of it, whether that's hyping up a new game master trying something new or we're doing something for charity. A lot of our charity one shots are very spontaneous and off the cuff, especially including the Castaway one shot we did in between seasons. That was like, it was Castaway 0 and it was with the interns who tested the game. So that trying to get rid of, oh God, what was it? 4 people by the end of the night was a challenge.
But that shit got spicy. That had some really interesting plot points in it.
I think it really set the tone for the desert too. Shout out to Alyssa, a disaster queer, who was on that episode and decided to play an old lady whose main contribution was planting the idea that maybe you should be allowed to murder on this show. Which I'm so glad someone bit on that bait, because it really sets up the rest of the actual series nicely, because that is Castaway's premise, is you're allowed to. No one's attacked anyone on the show yet, but might happen this week. I have inklings.
Don't worry, our papers are in order.
Our papers are in order.
I've also taken on the role of the Game Master Monday account on Twitch, so sometimes I'll just put things in the chat being like, Father help.
Jien gets the voice of GMM very well. Because
it started as a shit post because Grant was like, I think Grant was like, I'm not your dad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shit post. And I got on the other account and I was like, but you're mine.
Kay is about to get a whole lot of father help. They don't know it yet, but it's coming. That and a bunch of like Captain references, which is a spoiler for a thing. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's happening. Anyway,
there's I play a character in the Emergency Power Podcast, which is a Starfinder 1E podcast. The final season is edited and coming out soon.
Ooh.
And at the end of the third season, we ended the third season, and then we had like some sequel little between episodes, and it was revealed in that my character, who is a con artist, is now joining the space military and is going to be the captain of a ship, and that's going well.
Sounds safe, sounds foolproof, airtight, etc.
Also, Kay puts themselves in all of their characters, and this particular character is a disaster queer, is the messiest disaster queer, and I'm like, Kay, how is this even inside of you? And Kay's
What's really wild is when I go to play the messy disaster queer, and I'm the least disaster queer in the group, which has happened once.
The thing.
Only once.
Like that experience when you're just like, I'm gonna play this chaotic character, and you get there and you're somehow the voice of reason, and you're like, where did I go wrong? What happened?
I'm like, I'm both reason and morality in this party.
Something is wrong with us.
It's a big problem.
It's gotten to the point where one of my friend groups calls me party mom because, like, they're not wrong. I have tried to play, like, grumpy, like, only out for themselves. I have tried to play legit party mom. I've tried to play fuck all of you people. I'm a lone wolf, but, like, in that meta way where it's like you're not actually a lone wolf. You just act like it because we want people to have fun in an actual lone wolf.
That's my disaster queer in
but, like,
the Starfinder game.
How do you end up as party mom all the time?
It's because you're too sweet, Jien. You just love to help. I've watched Jien pitch me a character. We played a Call of Cthulhu game together recently, coming out sometime in the future. Jien very intentionally created a character who was meant to be very extroverted and social and ditzy, no real intelligent stats to speak of, and yet somehow, against all odds, became the puzzle solver of the group, whose brain was always going and asking questions and looking for stuff. And I was like, you can't escape your own mind, Jien. You're too smart. You're too nice.
Yes,
David.
but the diegetic reason is power of love.
True.
So
that might be a spoiler.
Knows. I play like disaster queer or cinnamon bun, right? Like disaster queer, edge monarch, or cinnamon bun, and there is no in between. And all my cinnamon buns have basically, well, Burton has intelligence, but none of my other. Burton has high intelligence, no wisdom. All my other cinnamon buns have just 0 intelligence and usually no wisdom either. But Kay figures things out.
See,
so I've become very crafty at feeding hints to the party to let other people figure things out, because I shouldn't.
See, my dump stat is always on one end of the character block. It's strength or it's charisma.
Well,
I'm
as a
never gonna
charisma
dump
class,
Dex.
I expect you to dump charisma.
Yeah, like I'm never gonna dump Dex. Wisdom is like, I don't know. It just playing a low int whiz character. This is gonna sound extremely haughty. I swear I'm not meaning it to. My meta can only go so far. I am a flawed human being. My mind likes to solve puzzles, and I just can't.
There was a great post that came at me personally that was like, hey, all you TTRPG players out there who are playing the himbo, the person who's never had a thought in their head, the sweet, innocent, follow the party along and be supportive. How's your real life responsibility treating you?
Hey, do you want to shut up really quick? You wanna fuck off for a minute?
I really
I did
want
not consent
know.
to being perceived.
Look, listen. Oh, hey, so there's a chat that says that they used their con as a dump stat once. Fun fact, the very first time I played 5e, con was my dump stat. I had an 8 in con. I was a glass cannon. I hit very hard, but like a strong breath of wind, and I was out.
That was one of my favorite things about Abria's wizard build for Calamity, was she's like, oh, you're gonna kill us? Cool, con wizard.
See, I actually haven't seen Calamity, but I also have a con wizard. The campaign is currently on hiatus, but she is coming back. Maybe not like in the immediate future, but like con wizard buddies.
Con wizard is real fun, like, because I'm not spoiling for Calamity. Like, it is a tragedy, right? It is the story of how the Calamity came to Exandria. And like, it was like, yeah, Brendan Lee Mulligan's gonna be running this, and he's gonna try to kill you. Like, the ideal ending for this is you all die, maybe one of you survived. Everybody's like, cool, I'm gonna make you work for it. I'm playing a wizard, I'm gonna make you work for it.
See, we had a very, like, a little bit of an opposite situation where she's like, let's figure out how we got here. My very first, like, full campaign ever was, well, it was Pathfinder 1E, so we're, but we won the campaign.
Condolences.
It was so
At
much.
least in character creation.
So, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the end of the campaign was a success against several odds. And shortly after that, the summer after that, I was chatting with the GM, and I was like, what would have happened if we hadn't won? So the next year we played the AU where we didn't win. Ooh. It was really fucking cool. But the answer, Kay, to the character sheet thing is I didn't build that character sheet. I named that character by essentially being like, I don't fucking know, color this. This was before I cared or knew about the game. He tricked me into caring, and now I'm here. But
I know this.
But now I know how to build a character. And I'm gonna be real. For better or for worse, having learned Pathfinder 1 first, with 2 different subsystems baked in, Crunch doesn't scare me anymore.
Yeah, you're ready for everything.
I'm good.
You're ready to teach an AP physics class.
David tells this story better, but my first experience in a TTRPG was Pathfinder 1E, building with books only, no online tools. I didn't know what a cantrip was. I was trying to build a level 5 druid.
See, it took me a long time to figure out what a cantrip was as well, not because not for the same reason. We didn't use Vancian casting. We used a subsystem called Spheres of Power. So I didn't figure out how Vancian casting worked until 5e.
That's fair. I always, now whenever anyone comes and plays their first game at my table, I'm like, don't play druid as your first class. I know it should be fun, but your wild shape is what makes it, and you don't want to deal with all those stat blocks. Mm-hmm. Just don't do it. There's also, more fun other classes.
I'm gonna be real as well. Wizard is a rough one. I think prepared casting is one thing, and known casting is another thing. Wizard combines the worst of both worlds.
When I was a baby GM, if you were a first-time player at my table, I banned all caster classes.
Ooh.
Like if you wanted to play Hunter, that was fine. But like Wizard, Sorcerer, Warlock, Paladin, Cleric, no, get out of here. Well, actually, Paladin was okay because it's like,
Paladin's
you're just going to cast Smite.
Yeah.
You're going to cast Smite and you're going to lay on hands. That's fine.
A little bit of heal. Yeah.
But everything else...
Poor chat has been catching strays all night from our conversations. Chat is flying. I really can't even just keep up with it. But yeah, the number of people are like, I don't play magic users and I forget about the spells. I just, nope, we're not going to talk about spell slots.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Like the wizard that I was telling you about is the first like long-term caster that I've played. And I'm gonna be real, it's more fun than I thought it would be. Like I'm very much in like let's put it this way. My Dark Souls playstyle, my like Legend of Zelda playstyle is get in there and smack them real hard until they fall down.
Yeah.
Playing a wizard is really fucking weird for me because I have to remind myself that no, you don't need to use your 30 feet of movement to go that way. Maybe you should go that way instead.
How dare you mention both my two favorite things, and then also mention the exact way I play Dark Souls. It's
That's
like
right.
big sword go bonk. Magic,
Ooh.
what's that?
See, I'm the opposite.
Crossbow, what's that?
I don't do big sword go bonk. I do small sword go.
Oh, excellent.
That's
Oh,
me.
then you had
I'm
to
sneaky
love
stab.
blood
I like
pressure.
sneaky
Like-
stab.
I tried a pyromancy build on Dark Souls 1 once just to see how it would
Ooh.
feel.
Ooh.
Because I heard it was broken as fuck, and like as I was going, I was
PvP.
okay, this shit is broken. Like this is ridiculously easy, and then I hit Quelaag. For those of you who don't know, Quelaag is a fire spider that doesn't give a single shit about fire, and I was like, I gotta go level up one shit.
Yep. Yep.
Spreads
that's not
lava
good.
on the ground and then stands in it, and it's like, "Come at me, bro!" And you're
And
like,
occasionally farts really violently.
"Yep."
Do I need
Also,
to
she
play
got
Dark
titties.
Souls?
Also, she got titties.
I wasn't gonna, but yeah, like that is the first obstacle you have to overcome.
You and me gotta
I-
talk about Dark Souls, David, because like, it's so hard to find people that like, to be very, very honest, not everyone hates themselves like we do.
Right.
Some people want to have fun when they game.
Like it's this like the Venn diagram of people who like Dark Souls and people who aren't toxic and people who hate themselves is like this very, very
Yeah.
tiny intersection, because usually it's like people who like Dark Souls, people who are toxic as fuck.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be real. Dark Souls 1 and 3, comfort games. If I want to just turn my brain off and play... Shut the fuck up, Grant. I saw
Listen,
that.
I'm stupid. I can't even sit here and criticize. My turn my brain off games are not the hyper focused. I tried playing Dark Souls 3. I can't get past the first room,
Well,
dog.
first off, we're gonna talk. But second, yeah, 1 and 3 comfort games.
Jien's gonna yell at me.
2 is the one that I play if I want to hate myself and everything about me.
My brother and his
We'll talk.
friends played Drunk Souls.
Oh, my ex likes Drunk Souls, and he's actually the one that got me into Dark Souls properly, and it's so funny to watch. Just like the slow descent into madness.
For those of you who don't know, every time you die in Drunk Souls, you have to take a shot.
I
And
would
those of you who don't
so
know
your
Dark
hand-
pass
Souls,
away.
that's gonna be
I would
very
simply
often.
pass away.
Right.
I would leave this
That
mortal
was like me
coil.
doing the labyrinth drinking game. It's like,
Oh.
oh, that was a mistake.
The one drinking game that I played that was a mistake, was a giant mistake, was if you've seen Purple Rain, every time there's an awkward stare in Purple Rain, you have to drink.
Oh no!
We did it with beer, and I still could not walk after the movie was over.
I did the labyrinth drinking game with either champagne, wine, something like that. I don't remember. I remember those are the gates to the Goblet City, and the next morning.
And footage
That's
not
it.
found.
And for those of you who don't know, Labyrinth, excellent movie. Very weird if you haven't seen it. You had to have seen it in childhood or as an adult with the right setting and a lot of weed.
I
The
saw
top two
it
it.
David
too.
Bowie movie.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was, I want to say, 13 or 14. One of those pirate shows that I was talking about.
Yeah, Labyrinth drinking game. Anytime there's a clock, take a shot. 2,
Oh,
if it's only got 12 hours.
oh no!
Anytime Sarah whines.
Oh,
Anytime
you're
someone gets
hammered.
Hoggle's name wrong.
oh,
Or
you're super
anytime
hip.
there's a zoom in, there's a hard focus on David Bowie's crotch.
I was gonna ask about the crotch. Yes, okay.
There's some others as well, but those were kind of, we're like, we don't have to worry about those. But those did us.
It's
Don't
wild
forget
to
the,
me-
the fushigi balls. The fushigi balls.
It's wild to me that David Bowie's already packaged so much schmeat, and then they packed it. They stuffed it. It's
You
like
have to make the Goblin King hung.
Well, you
Yeah,
know
he-
what?
he already was.
You know what that was a
hung.
reference to, right?
I don't.
No.
So everyone thinks it's Clockwork Orange. It's not. His outfit is supposed to be combinations of all the things that young teenage girls like. So like the leather jacket is, That's the ballet dancer. 'Cause
Leather
that's
jacket,
where
huge
I'm gonna
crotch.
be so real. When Labyrinth came out, I did not exist for the next 10 years yet, so I have no reference.
it was made to be like the ballet dancer, like when the the girl is taken to see the Nutcracker Suite for the first time, and it's like, oh, that
Yeah, crack that nut.
awakening.
Grant's gonna leave.
Crack the nut. If you learn
that
nothing
nut.
else from this stream,
Bust that
Crack
nut.
the nut.
bust the nut.
And
I'm glad it was someone else who said it, not me.
if you have not gone deep into the lore of Labyrinth, next time you watch it, look what's in Sarah's room, because David Bowie is married to her mother.
So much just happened in that sentence, Jesus.
Mhm.
There's a whole lot of sexual awakening happening in the
So much
Labyrinth.
just happened.
Low center of gravity is good for me.
Yes. Unless you're doing the pole vault.
Yeah.
Yes.
In which case, bring your tits.
Yep.
I left
She
mine
said
at home.
There was an Olympian who didn't win because
Oh,
as he was going over it,
his dick got caught in it.
I watched that happen live. It was amazing.
Oh my
great.
god. I feel so
It's
bad
great.
for him genuinely because, like, imagine that's how you're remembered.
But also, imagine all the messages he got afterwards.
Lost-
Oh yeah, he was very
Lost
popular.
at the Olympics because
Mhm.
you were too hung.
uh-huh.
And keep in mind, like, people don't realize everyone fucks at the Olympics. Like, you do your event and then you lose and then you go, because again,
They
you are
try-
in peak physical condition.
They try to make, like, the beds and shit as uncomfortable as possible.
Mhm.
And they
Yes.
still find ways.
That
Like,
Italian vaulter already has a gold medal.
look, any dedicated horny person will find somewhere to fuck.
Right.
Mhm.
Showers,
Don't need a bed.
hallways, closets,
The beach.
fucking under your bed, whatever.
Multiple Olympics have run out of condoms. The entire city ran out of condoms.
Yeah.
Because the Olympians were banging so much. So imagine you're young, you're super hot, surrounded by a bunch of young, super hot people who are all single,
Physical condition.
and then you lose because your junk was too big.
Well, I bet he
We
got
call
excellent
that failing upward where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, remember when we were talking about Castaway?
Oh shit! Right, my
Right,
show.
right,
right.
What was
So-
it about it?
How much? No. How much
How many
fucking is
dongs
happening
are in
on
Ca-
Castaway?
Almost one. Implied one.
I did warn you about the rabbit trails.
Look,
I
love
I
the
think
rabbit
it's
trails.
I think it's fun. I didn't have a lot to contribute to the
I
D
don't
and D
think that-
conversation.
Oh, no,
I
it's
haven't
been
touched
Thank
it in
you
a
for
few
the
years.
clip. Look.
Crack that nut.
Also,
Thank you.
those of you who don't know, you can type "bang!" clip
Bang, you say.
in this chat, and it will automatically make a clip.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you need to weaponize any of that against these good people.
Very important question for all of you. What is your favorite punctuation and why is it the interrobang?
Because of the
Terabang is
name?
excellent.
No, my favorite punctuation is the exclamation point. Who am I kidding?
Why, Grant?
There,
Because it just makes me sound excited.
Aw.
I type how I talk, and I talk loud.
But imagine if misogyny didn't exist, so you could actually have a key that was an interrobang, so you could be excited and confused at the same time with one
think-
punctuation mark. The whole reason interrobang doesn't exist is because editors didn't like it because they thought it was too feminine.
That's
They
gross,
can eat
and I
my
hate it.
ass. What makes me sad is
eat
like
my ass derogative.
yeah, exactly. To answer your question, chat, it is an interrobang. It is a merged question mark and exclamation point. Also, Bobby Yaga, what the fuck?
Yeah, you never heard about the Dr. Seuss book he wrote about banging? did you find
And
a book?
Lord knows he does know about banging, seeing as he cheated on his wife. Ugh.
Who among us? No, I'm just kidding.
It is that afterthought games, except like merged. It's the dot is one and the question mark comes out of the yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Afterthought games. Is it? Hi, Riley. I didn't know you were here. Should I talk about your game more?
Riley's been here for like the entire time.
I don't
Yeah.
read when I'm on screen.
The answer is that there is no keyboard shortcut or anything for an interrobang. Not even
Which is a
on
crime.
like your standard like mobile keyboards, you have to Google interrobang and copy and paste it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they got the interrobang there in the first place to copy and paste from, but here we are.
Never.
And again, it would be
question the
on
nerds.
keyboards, except misogyny.
It
Yeah.
should be on keyboards. I don't know why I turned Italian there, but
I'm sure there's like a Unicode for
There has to be.
interrobang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it while
Joey's
y'all
got it in
yap.
chat.
Interrobang.
You're gonna have a whole
Tool
chat full of
3D,
interabangs,
yeah.
and this
Oh
one
yes,
finds the
Tool
copy
3D,
paste.
okay.
And look, in my deep dive, in my very early writing editing career, I looked up. I came across like an article about like obscure or otherwise like unused punctuation marks, and I had like a 3-month stretch where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some of these happen. And let me tell you, I was insufferable. I was the worst human being on earth.
I
Because-
wouldn't go that far.
Look, it was pretty douchey.
There's a lot
It
of
was-
bad
it was-
people out there.
today. Yes,
Oh, back then, yeah, we were way more wholesome back then.
fair.
Famously peaceful country, the United States,
Yep.
20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everybody held
absolutely.
hands.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about when
Mhm.
everybody held hands across the entire country?
Yep.
That was peak times. Also,
Wanted
as
to buy the
bad as
world a
things
Coke.
are, I remind myself often that this is actually not the worst timeline because they tried to put Big Bird on the Challenger.
I think about that a lot. I do.
Mhm.
It's true.
Like there was a timeline where Big Bird got on the Challenger and then the Challenger happened. Ooh.
Explain that
was
to the
like 40
children.
years ago.
Yeah, we don't think about how long ago that was.
Jen, hear me out. Castaway in Space, one of the characters is a children's show Big Bird type.
That's just the reverse of everyone's Muppets except one person,
You're right.
which I do think we should do.
We should make a movie where everyone's humans except for
Cast-
one Muppet.
No, everyone's Muppets except for one human.
Yeah.
We're doing Castaway and Land of Eam.
Yeah, Castaway where everyone is Muppets, including Chet, except a random character player of your choice.
If anyone makes a Chet puppet, I will freak the fuck out.
All right,
I've-
y'all, there's 23 of you here. You heard him. You heard the man.
Right.
I just want a puppet. Chet looks just like me. Where's this hat?
So you do have to be careful putting this out there because I have been planning, it's the back of my brain for years, doing a Labyrinth TTRPG
You should.
game.
As the
Where-
person who's made TTRPG shows about the
oh.
stuff they love, just do it. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
fun.
it's been going. Thank you all for the follows. We hit our follower goal. Thank you so much.
Yay. Hell yeah.
Where like it's Labyrinth and it's twins that wish each other away to the Labyrinth. And so it's like a split party, go back and forth thing. And I've been talking about this for years and like I've got the basics of it figured out. I've just gotta like do the thing. And the number of people who showed up and went, I'm a puppeteer and I want to bring my puppet and have my puppet be on your, and I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for puppets.
Right.
I was not actually prepared for actual puppets. So be careful. People will show up with puppets and go, I have my puppet. I am here
I mean,
to do
good.
your puppet one.
Bring me
You're
the
saying
puppet.
this like it's a bad thing, and I'm afraid of it. This is my
No.
dream, Kay.
Like, you forget that Grant and I, our entire thing with each other is just bouncing more and more ideas off of each other until we're moving faster than the speed of light.
We have literally 10 seasons of Castaway planned, which would encapsulate 5 years. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think about if we were going to do all the ideas we had for this show, it's going to start going well into my 40s. And that gives me an existential crisis to even think about creating anything for that long.
But it's a good time. And, like,
amazing.
honestly, even the first season, we raised, what, like $1,200?
1,300
13, yeah,
Oh,
for
wow.
Grant's Lifeline. And we are on track to actually exceed that.
this week.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we've raised
really
over
fucking
1,000
cool, like,
for the ACLU already.
Yeah. And we did Churla for the one shot, right? Like, it was.
Yeah, Churla for the one shot. We
Guess
change
what,
the
guys?
charity every season.
But yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
I
Tell
think
us
that's-
more about this season.
Yeah, this season, Castaway the Desert, our exciting second season. The first one kind of takes place in a world where, like, so there's a TV show called Castaway. It's existed for 10 years prior to the first season, but the first one we do on Twitch is where they change the rules to where you're, and I quote, allowed to die, meaning they won't send medical to help you if you're hurt or sick, or they won't intervene if someone gets violent. And they frame this as due to heavy not backlash, but like the fans want this. Like after like years of letters and emails, but this show is cool, but I wish they would actually survive out there. They're like, all right, cool, now they have to. That first cast treated it like they got bamboozled. And because they treated it like that, they unionized against the host, and in the last episode killed him. Twice. So yeah, so they started ruminating for a while that if we can just get the host, Chet Provolone, then everything will be fine and we don't have to die.
Like
so they
the cheese?
Like the cheese. It's my dumb pun off Jeff Probst, Chet Provolone.
Okay, that's fair.
So they killed Chet Provolone in the last episode after the winner is crowned, only to learn that there's a whole second host locked and ready to go named Chet Gouda, who then takes over the show. So they immediately kill him. And then they meet the current host of Castaway the Desert named Chet Cheddar. So that's where we pick up in season 2. And the conspiracy theories have been flying for why there's all these cheese-themed Chets lying around, which I'll never reveal the secret to, but Jien knows the secret to it, and it's very stupid. But that's where the desert picks up. So the whole second season is like, now you know what you're signing up for. You know it's the death season. You know there's a different Chet, and the old one got murdered. And they're just out there, and they have to survive in a much harsher environment. And so the structure of Castaway is you start the game with a D12, and as you fail rolls, or if you don't eat, because ADHD for it to eat, or you don't successfully get water, or your shelter sucks, or you get hurt during a challenge, you take what's called a condition, and you go down to the next dice. So you go from a D12 to a D10, etc., etc. If you take your 5th condition when you're at a D4, your character dies. And then there's death mechanics in the game. You just play a ghost and literally haunt the narrative. So there's been a lot of that going around on the desert. But because it's a charity show, we offset that danger level a little bit by saying, hey, you can literally donate to your favorite castaway. You can give them food. You can give them a secret advantage. You can heal a condition. Anything that you are willing to part with your money for, that you'll go to the ACLU and help your favorite castaway. But just so you know, every time we raise $100, we're also going to inflict a random condition on a random player. So it kind of helps the balance, because they're against each other, but the chat is helping, but the chat is hurting. And the chat gets really excited when they hit the $100 mark, because then they cause pain, and then we announce who we're causing the pain to, and all the fans of that castaway get really sad in the chat because we hurt their favorite player.
And then they donate to heal the condition.
Exactly.
Right.
And
then
all the money goes to
condition.
charity.
So
the cheese puns in chat are just excellent, by the way.
Oh,
Like,
thank you, chat.
I am so sorry to anyone not watching live, because the chat does not transfer over to the VOD, but wow, chat has just been fire this time, and y'all are so conversational and fun to talk to that I haven't been reading chat nearly as much as I normally do, because I can't interrupt this good stuff.
I'm not over nobody puts Baby Bill in the corner.
Chat Baby Bell's a good one. Whoever said that, kudos. I like that one a lot.
Aliara Stormforged, it looks like. Absolutely incredible. Love it. 10 out of 10.
It's a great show. We're 4 episodes into Castaway the Desert right now. We're going to do our penultimate episode tomorrow. We're at the final 5, and we just had like a really electric, fun, conniving cast. There's a lot of great characters. I mentioned earlier that Kendo was on the show. His character is the one that died on the season. Spoilers, I guess, if you haven't watched the VOD yet. I'm sorry. I have a big mouth. But Kendo's character is somebody. Exclamation point. Kendo's character was one where his whole thing was like, I have to literally be the best and win. I'd rather die than lose. And there was a challenge where the only way out of the challenge was to literally say, I give up. I can't do this anymore. I cannot win. And he whittled his dice down to a D4, and the whole cast is being like, Leo, don't do this. Just give up, man. Just drink the fucking water. And he's like, I have to win. There's no other option. we all watch in horror as he rolls the last die, having to hit a crit to even live, failing miserably. So now their ghost is just haunting the narrative, because ghosts in Castaway got a whole new dice pool that they can use against or to help the other players. So that's a lot of fun. Just a great show. I hear us compared to Hunger Games a lot because of the whole you can feed your favorite thing, but like I don't know, like because in Hunger Games you have to kill each other. In Castaway you don't, you know.
True, that's
So-
true.
The premise is like so dystopianly perfect because like when the Squid Game's actual game came out
Yeah.
and people like literal reviews were like, well, this just isn't like people, it's not as exciting because people don't die like in the show.
Like, that's the point. It's fucked up.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a riff on Squid Game in there, I won't lie, because there is something genuinely horrifying about the concept, to the point where like production itself has kind of become like a character in the story of Castaway.
Yeah.
So like we've started doing these little things here and there where it hasn't come up yet, but I'll reveal one tiny little secret that we hid a secret in the game that's a switchblade basically. And if you find it, you get like +1 in physical attacks against animals or people. There's also a second knife in the game where if someone were to bring that to Chet to be like, I found this knife, Chet would say things like, oh, we didn't put that there. That's not ours. I don't know whose knife this is. And there's going to be like little things like that going forward. We just finished casting season 3 and we have a lot of really nasty tricks hiding in there.
Now, worth noting, for because I think it's really fucking funny. Normally when players go up against each other, like people go up against each other, it's die versus die. So if one has a D10, one has a D6, it's D10 versus D6. Remind me what the animal one is. Is it just like?
Oh, like when they go hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so contested rolls against each other are that, but also against animals. So if you hunt, it's also a contested roll. So it's your current die versus that animal's current die. And depending on how dangerous the animal is, it determines the die size. So going up against like a little bunny, for example, would be like the rabbit has a D4 or a D6 or something if they have like big pointy teeth, for example. But if they find like a snake that's mean and mad, that would be a D12 animal. Chet operates like a D12 animal.
Yep. That was the fun one. Chet is in fact mechanically an animal.
Yes.
When are one of your players going to die to a deer?
Sooner than you think, I bet.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. We do have we have 2 seasons ahead planned, and there may be an environment we're gonna do that would have spooky deer.
And we do have we have a bunch of ideas. We don't ideas.
Ideas.
We don't necessarily have all the order of the various settings yet, but we have so many ideas. Like every now and then we'll just message the production chat and be like, so I have an idea.
Our production chat gets a little goofy.
I actually have
Sometimes you have to rein that in.
What do you call a
Can't
deer?
stop me, and I'm gonna do this forever.
What do you call a castrated blind buck?
Hang on.
I know this one. Hold on.
Nutless?
No, I got it.
Dinner?
No
I don't
fucking
know.
idea.
No fucking
Oh.
idea. I like that.
I love that. A+.
I will say our
That
next
feels like
season,
that came out straight out of Texas.
Oh yeah.
straight out of Texas.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Our next season is probably going to be the most like topographically dangerous, because the whole idea with the desert was I wanted it to be more intimidating than the island, and in a lot of ways it has been, because again, someone literally died. But the next one is going to be a little bit more brutal, a little bit more honoring the ethos of Castaway, the game itself, because the game's creator, who's in chat, Afterthought Committee, Riley, has said it'll add 5 community copies of the game every time someone dies.
Mm-hmm. I think we got 10 for chat too.
That's true. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
donate 10 because
Yeah.
they killed 2 of the chats. That's right.
Also, for anyone who wants to know, because we are in the desert, yes, we have made the something something. It's the quenchiest joke.
Have we? It's the
Someone
quenchiest?
has.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It may have been in chat, but someone definitely has.
Yeah, it's very fun. Just I get a lot of cool opportunities to work with a lot of cool people who want to be part of this. Like people I didn't imagine would want to, and I love being able to raise this money for charity, do something that I'm passionate about, like concept wise. Work with GN who matches my freak on every possible idea. We're introducing like newer, smaller names, like bigger ones. I've mentioned Nala J. Wu and Kendo are on the show, but we also have folks like Kenny from a show called This Could Get Dicey, and he gets to show off how good of a player he is on this platform he wouldn't have got to have otherwise. We have Kim from 5GMs on a trench coat on there, working alongside like our friend Taz, who was on another show for a long time and just didn't have a place to land, which is a shame because she's so talented. So we wanted to give her a spot. A Ghost of Eli is on the show, working with Juicy Garland and all these like really just amazingly cool people, and we get to introduce people to these great talents while also raising money for charity and hurting my friends, and people like it. And I get random DMs from people who are like, I want to be on it, please put me on a future season. And I'm like, man, I feared at one point that there just wouldn't be enough people to do the show, and now I'm like, we have a surplus.
Yep. Which is
Absolutely.
an excellent problem to have, personally.
By the
You
time
gotta
we
have a
cast
problem,
season
that's the one
4,
to
we'll
have.
have 40 different players who played this game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is kind of wild when you think about it. Like, you see a lot of communities running around with like the same, like 6 or 7 people, and like nothing wrong with that. It's just
No.
genuinely shocking to see the amount of talent that you can shove into a show. Obviously, Castaway being kind of like a serial situation is easier to have rotating people in, but it's really cool to see like how many unique people are out there.
And we focus on diversity a lot with Castaway. We
Not hard.
I mean, it's not hard by any means. I get like,
Depends on
a lot,
who you ask.
if you ask me, I think people just need to do their fucking homework and just look, because it's not hard.
I asked the entire internet who wants to play this game with me, who no one's ever heard of, how come I didn't get the biggest names and the most diverse cast ever?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Merm.
It takes a little bit of effort to put a cast together, but it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I think our most, Jien, you gotta fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure, excluding myself, I think the desert only has 2 white people, right? It's just
Sounds
Taz
right.
and Juicy, right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone else just comes from like a wide range of backgrounds, and that's just what we like to do here at Game Master Monday, because it's like the right thing to do. Like
Yeah.
as a person in the entertainment sphere, I think that just makes your show good, but it's also just like, I don't know, when you have so many different perspectives and backgrounds at any given time on your games, you just get a more interesting game, and it ensures that everything is going to be different. And people love to bring their cultures into the people they're playing. I work with Ross from Blades of Mayari a lot, and he brings so many like Filipino touchstones to every game he runs in GMs, and it's a delight to play for, because you have this whole world that you get to like interact with and have like a cool point of view on. So I'm just like, we're doing Castaway this much of this many people, and the majority of those people are BIPOC, and that's really special to me too, because it's like, I don't know, what's everyone else's excuse? I'm doing 4 of these bad boys.
Also, I'm gonna be real. There's one thing, Grant, that you do when you are casting people that makes you, like, for better or for worse, makes you stand out.
I hope for better.
It is for better, but like, it's. I am both happy that you do it and sad that we don't see more of it. Is really what that means. And you will understand. Tell me how you, or I guess tell them. I know how you cast. How do you ask someone to be on your show?
Really nicely.
Well,
No,
yes.
I mean, I because I am who I am, I don't want to bring just anyone on the show. So like, I listen to and watch a lot of APs, like a lot, and I will reach out to folks and just specifically tell them what I've seen them in that I enjoyed and why I think what I'm pitching will be good for them. I'll use Jien as an example because Jien was like a big get for us for as meaningless as Stardust.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Huge.
I'd seen Jien do a live stream where that was very silly, to be fair, but Jien has this real like deep capacity for good emotional role play as well, and likes to screw with gender a little bit, and that was the whole point of As Meaningless as Stardust. The game's GM Sadie Pasley, Oakleaf insignia, really wanted to tell a story that was focused on femininity and gender queerness, kind of like feeling outside of yourself and outside of that identity. So she was very big on like finding folks from that perspective. And Jien was one of the first names I thought of because that's kind of Jien's bag. So I just DM'd them and I was a really big fan of you on this network with this program. Here's here's who I've already asked to do the thing. You down, dog? And Jien vetted me right back, which you should do if you're being asked to join any show. Definitely double check on the strange white man messaging you to make sure they're copacetic. And we just became fast friends from that. And I do that for everyone I ask. I don't follower count. I don't name chase. I'm very much like, I saw you. What you're doing is cool. I like it a lot. I kind of prefer pulling people from shows who have less followers than me or don't get a lot of recognition because you get to pull them into this whole other world of more creators they can work with. I use This Could Get Dicey as a reference to this a lot, but I've worked with 3/4 of their cast at this point because I'm a genuine fan of what they do. And I see them on threads and they get like a like every now and again, and I'm like, this show deserves more. And I have a platform that has more. So I just pull them in, and then Kenny walks away with a Crit Award nomination. The show is getting more recognition to the point where they want to do a new second season to kind of like hard reset, and that's cool to see. I can pull people now who have a bigger following, and that's cool. But it's always more fun for me to just pull artists that I like and respect a lot.
Also, like, it puts the ones that like don't have as much recognition in front of those big faces.
Yes, that's one of the things David and I love doing, especially in our charity games. It's like, let's get, a bigger name or two, and then get some people that we know are incredible, who deserve a bigger following. And we talk a lot about, this is not a space to have rivals in.
It's so dumb to be a rival in this.
TTRPG.
We're so like, it's the Wild West out here, and there's sometimes a real vibe where like a whole bunch of us are walking into town square with our guns on our hips, and we all want to be the guy, even though we know damn well the guy lives in the governor's mansion on the other side of the state, and his name is Matthew Mercer, and we're not touching him anytime soon. So I think it's just silly to do that. Like, I have like names in my head who would be a dream to work with. I got to meet some folks from Three Black Halflings at Gen Con. I mean, anyone from D20 would be a dream. Candace the Magnificence would be a big get in my brain. That's like people who I think are like,
I would love to introduce you to a Candace.
Oh shit, okay.
Candace deserves all the things.
Right?
Candace was in chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here, but absolute delight of a human being.
Candace is a very old friend of the channel.
I feel like a dog who caught the car all of a sudden.
when I was in the hospital, Candace was co-hosting this show.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey Candace, if you're around, big fan.
Candace actually, amusingly, is the reason that I met one of the people in chat. So Candace, and I think Kay, you were involved in this too, referred me to a thing at GDC. And I was able to GM at a zero proof game night. It was basically an alcohol-free event, which was actually bonus for me because I don't drink. No issues, literally just don't like the taste.
Sure.
But
Totally
one of the people at my table, both of my tables were absolutely awesome. But at FOMOCon, I was chatting in kind of like the wrap-up chat, and someone in that wrap-up chat looked really fucking familiar. And eventually, I messaged them and I'm just like, hey, were you at GDC? And like, yeah. I'm like, were you at Zero Proof Game Night? I'm like, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, were you at my table? And they're like, fuck yeah.
That's so
like,
cool.
Just in a really fun way, like the way that life shakes out is really, really incredible. And all this to say Candace is awesome, but
Yeah, well, I was on this tangent to be like, it'd be cool to get all these big names, but I sure like our indie scene. But hey, Candace, my DMs are always open, and I'm insane.
Now, Grant, I am going to not hoist you on your own petard, and I'm not going to say hoist you on my petard but on a petard, but
just a regular petard,
right. But anyone who's like followed the channel has heard me say, hey, white guys with beards in t-shirts who play TTRPGs, you don't have to be lame. Like you are welcome in this. Like for one, this is dominated by white guy. Like if you just go on Twitch right now and type in Dungeons and Dragons,
oh, I
the
know
first
it.
like 5
Don't
channels
I know it?
is gonna be white dude, beard, t-shirt.
Look, my
6 of them.
collared shirt was in the wash. Okay, I just got back from a convention. I'm sorry.
Right, but I've constantly said, hey, you are not excluded from us. However, do the work to involve us, because not only is it the right thing to do, not only is it a smart thing to do in terms of production, because if somebody is on your channel and cracking jokes that you don't have reference for, that means they're accessing an audience that you cannot access.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And bigger audience is good.
Yes, I completely agree. We have a whole episode of the podcast where we have Nuffa Abby as one of our guests, and it's a show about moms in the Midwest. And she made the deliberate choice to make hers a Navajo auntie.
That's great.
Because that's her bag. That's what she knows. That's her mom context. And she's in there cracking Navajo in jokes left and right. Some of which I can hang with because I also grew up on in the desert in the West, but not super ingrained in the culture. But like you can just really feel like the love and respect of that, and also like it's just really gratifying to have people who are there comfortable enough to make those jokes, knowing they're gonna find who they're intended for, and it just makes your show cooler. I don't know, like fucking there's how many, like even from a marketing standpoint, how many tables are. We're just 3 to 5 white friends who thought we'd do D&D here on the internet. And it's like, cool. Yes. I hope you like the other 1,000 of those.
Right. Yes. And I will also, I've had this conversation with a lot of beardy white guys, especially beardy white GMs. Don't leave the space. Just make more room at your tables, right?
Because
it's
so easy.
Here's the thing. It is so easy for people who look like you, who look like me, who look like us, white people of various flavors, bland flavors, but flavors, go, sure. Oh, that's an all black table, that's not for me. The same way they look at like BET and go, that's not for me, right? The same way they looked at Get Out and fortunately are not looking at Sinners, right?
Sinners is so good.
Right?
Oh,
there's a whole group of white people who look at a table of people who are not white and go, oh, that's not for me, bye.
Yeah,
and
I'll
that's
be straight
bad.
up. I was one of those people for a long time. It was intimidating.
And
but
we talk about this a lot. I'm sorry, I'm going to do a real quick.
No, you're good. Please. I've been yapping all day.
Allyship isn't a destination. It is a journey that you are constantly on. And being in diverse spaces and being around other people with other experiences, you can't not fuck up at some point. At some point, you are going to say or do something that is not cool. It will probably be unintentional, right? It is not that you said a bad thing. It is how you handle yourself and the situation after that matters. So be 5% better today. Be 3% better today. Do 1% more than you did yesterday, and you are being a good ally. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. And
we all learn and grow.
And that said, with all the love in the world, when you are a good ally, we appreciate it. Don't ask us to put a crown on your head about it.
No.
you should not be doing it because you want someone to point at you and say they're the good white one. You're doing it because it's the right fucking thing to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I hope that's what comes across. I'm not doing it because I want awards or anything. There's plenty of other shows who do it great that don't have a white guy as their GM either, you know. I'm just doing it because it makes my show better. It's the right thing to do, and it should be the standard practice.
Yeah,
Is
and
where
like
I'm at.
that's kind
I
of
don't feel like I'm doing anything special. I'll be completely real, but people keep telling me that it's rare in the space, and it doesn't make me feel cool. It makes me feel sad. You know.
I think that's kind of what informed the point that I was making about asking about how you cast things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, when you ask them to be, and like I've seen these takes as recently as this week on like Blue Sky, right? I've seen the sentiment of like, I feel like when someone asks me to be in something, it is to tick a box and to fill a diversity quota, and I feel like the way that you approach people and the way that you that you're not like, hey, I need an X minority person at this table, do you
Yes.
want in, is so weird and tokenizing. Like, you know, it's
Yes.
best intentions.
How do I
get it.
cast diversity without making it token?
Right, and it's just like I
If you're-
get
if
that
you're
you
asking
want
that, you've got it
diversity,
wrong.
but it is important to not make your diversity feel tokenized. And being tokenized isn't just the idea of being the only non-white person at a table, or the only woman at a table, or the only non-man at a table for that matter. It's not just that tokenizes people. It's the I need to have this quota of, you know,
Yes,
like
I need
BIPOC people, or
this
this
number of
quota
boxes.
of women. And I think that the approach of, hey, I liked your work in XYZ, and I'm doing ABC project, and I would like you to be in it because I think that lines up well with how you play. That's so much better than just being like, hey, I need an Asian person, Jen. Can you
I've only done that once because we did a show on the Twitch that Ross very blatantly told me he wanted an all Asian cast for.
yeah. And it was such a good cast.
It was so
and
good.
Yes,
What a
Bubble
good
Rocket.
show.
I did see that panel on diversity token and tokenizing. I was unfortunately busy at the time, but that's kind of like it's so, it resonates with me so much because, and like this is as someone who is very frequently white perceived. Am I white? No. Am I white perceived, and do I benefit from a lot of like perceived whiteness? Also, yes. It still sucks, even, you know, like even if it is less so, to wonder if you're like, are you asking me because I am femme or non-binary or like just not white enough? Like, why are you asking me, right? And that's kind of what stood out to me when Grant asked me was, you didn't just say, hey, you're cool and you have this many followers, or hey, you're cool because you're this XYZ minority. It's, hey, I liked you in this. And I was like, oh, don't
And-
perceive me.
I
Can't
don't
help it,
feel
you're
bad
cool.
about saying this because Candace has said this places, including on this show. So I will repeat what Candace has said. More than once, Candace has been invited to a thing, and it's been like, oh, hey, yeah, we had another, you know, black person or person of color lined up and they dropped. Do you want to come in?
Oh my God, that's
Yep.
worse than just being a second
Yep.
thought. That's being a diversity second. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's a literal second. Jesus. Yeah,
Oh
don't
my
do
God,
that.
that's a double
Like,
second
we
thought.
couldn't
What the
land a
fuck?
Brio. Are you willing to join? And it's like,
Right.
come on.
How
And
about
Yeah, don't do
Candace? You're
that.
fucking awesome. You
Right?
Right.
Like, you have incredible performances.
And going back to what Grant was saying about like, why is it so cool to do diverse tables and to do, because you end up volunteering to be on a weird sci-fi mothership show, and you end up being on it with Candace the Magnificent and Jen Youngles. And then you've got two fucking badass TTRPG friends before a lot of other people know who they are.
Big,
And
big
you-
Youngles fan, by the way. Also recently landed them for the show for a thing we're doing soon, and I'm still geeked about it.
And like, it's those moments of like, oh yeah, I got to play with this person and I got to know this person, and we have gone back far enough now that hopefully this person never has to sit there and go, does Kay only like me because of my skin?
Yeah.
You know, like, no, we
Yeah,
have
I-
that relationship.
I think that's what it just boils down to, you know, like just be in the community, be kind, like genuinely go out and binge content and enjoy people's work. And then you will have a list of people that you know you like and are cool, and you can build something off of that. I don't ever use our casting methods as the selling point of the show. I think the show stands on its own merit as a concept because everything you hear from Game Master Monday sounds insane. Like we do a new one shot with a new cast every single episode, so I'm always fucking casting. We do Castaway, which has 10 players, and it's Survivor, and we figured it out, and it's good, and people want to be on it. We do one shots from systems you like that are just like I pulled them from like charity bundles, or game designers reach out to me to get hype for it. You know, we're not. Sometimes we do run a bigger game here and there, like a Call of Cthulhu or something like that. But primarily, we're running a shit like Fluff and Fury, which is a game about cyborg bears with guns, or Don't Kill a Bird with a Baseball, where you're Randy Johnson from that one video where he threw a baseball so hard it exploded a bird. You know,
Don't kill a bird with a what, Grant? Don't
with
kill
a
a what?
baseball. Killed Jien. Jien was that bird, and now look what happened. You know, we're running cool stuff, like we're running Castaway, for crying out loud, which is a game that was in a charity bundle that I picked up one day that just really scratched the back of my brain. So I'm like, that's your selling point. The stuff I do that you know people say is cool or whatever, I have my reasons for it. Primarily just makes my show good, but it isn't like the selling point. It's not the thing where I go, please enjoy this diverse cast of the most boring shit you've ever seen. Like, it's not diversity for diversity's sake. It's just like, that's what I think a good show has.
It shouldn't be a selling point. Flavors. It should be a bare minimum.
Yeah,
right. It's like pointing at a sectional and being like, this couch has seats.
Right.
Buy it.
Yeah.
And
it
fucking better
frustrates
have
me that we
seats.
have to keep saying, like, hey, this is how you do this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in this space, we still do. I'm sorry, Dave. You've been trying to say something for ages as the darkness claims you.
Yep. But I mean, let's be real. The darkness has always had an eye on me, and I have had an eye on it. But no, like, and when it comes to like tokenism, the individual groups in the TTRPG space, especially, we all talk. Like, I am on the outskirts of like the black TTRPG space, and I'm in a couple of group chats. I know like a handful of people in the space, but they all know each other. And even I hear stuff of like, this person tried to hire me as a token. And there are people in the space where you will see that they have all white tables because they can't get people of color because they're just looking to tick a box. And like, it's very rare that you'll see Kay and I appear on the same thing. I think we've done like 2 things together. And the first thing we have is like, did this person ask for both of us because we tick all the boxes? Because it's like black, queer, non-binary, boom, like just done. Just everything we need. And yeah, like people talk and reputation matters. And like, especially in like LGBTQ spaces or minority spaces, it's a small group of people. Like, I'm not sure I could name 30 black TTRPG players. And so like, and I'm sure there are more than 30, but I don't personally know. And so like, what you do with 1 or 2 like resonates. Like, I'm confident I can go and grab a whole bunch of people to run a thing just because I know Kay. Because I'm like, hey, look, Kay is playing this game, and a bunch of people are like, sign me up. I don't care what it is.
Sure.
I'm like,
Yeah,
look, you're just going to be
good.
drawing stick figures on MS Paint for 2 hours. They're like, fine, that's good.
Right, so-
Kay's
well,
going to be there. I'm there.
That genuinely sounds great. Please sign me up for drawing stick
Yeah, I'd do
figures on
that.
this thing for 2 hours.
But before we hit the 2-hour mark, we got to wrap up here. This has been
Oh my god, already? Jesus.
already.
Yeah.
We are
I
long.
just
We are
love to
over.
yap.
We have
We were
gone
yapping.
over.
Me.
Great. I wish if every guest was a yap like this. I mean, this
Oh, yeah.
this always makes my Tuesday better, even on days when I'm like, I don't want to do this, and then I do it. I'm like, I'm so glad I did that. I feel so much better. I'm so happy. I've got the best community and the best people around me, and I'm so lucky. I know this show going over, this show wandering
Yeah,
off
it never
topic. No. But we're going to do a wrap up here. I'm Kay. I've been one of your hosts. I'm here. I do this every Tuesday. Ideally, we're going to be doing more actual plays soonish, but, you know, hashtag not right now.
We are working on stuff. We're not just
working on
sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
Yes. And a few people in chat have playtested some of the things we're working on, but
Mhm.
that's on hold too. David, who the heck is you and what the heck has we been doing here?
I am laughing at Gil reaction images in chat. But no, hi, I'm David, and this has been, is, and will be the chaotic wholesome Tuesday table talk show, where every week we talk about TTRPG stuff, how to be a better player, how to be a better GM, how to be a better person, all with focus on intersectionality and inclusivity, so that everybody can have a good time.
And Grant, Jien, thank you for coming on. You are amazing. Tell us again, what the heck do you do that got you here, and where can we find you? And we will throw those links into chat, or David will throw those links into chat because he's faster on this than I am right now.
Jien, you go first this time.
Ah, fuck me.
No.
Hello, friends. I have been Jen. My pronouns are they, she. I do performance production, project management, overlay design. I wear a lot of hats. I like learning to wear new hats. If you have a hat that you think you would like me to wear, please ask me about the hat. And shut your fuck. Absolutely
You want
not.
this one?
Nope. No, thank you.
Real sweaty.
Thank you. I have two cats that for some reason never showed their face once, and it's very sad. I promise they're very cute. But yes, I love to send Zoop! I love to send cat pictures, and I also like to share knowledge. So if you ever have any questions about any of those things that I was talking about, please drop me a message. I do not bite, and I do send cat pictures. Okay, Chet, your turn.
Hello, I'm Chet Cheddar. Hi, I'm Grant. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the titular game master over at Game Master Monday. As I've said a few times here tonight, new one-shot, new system, new cast every goddamn episode, baby. If you want to be part of it, send me your show. Let me know how cool you are. We have a new episode of that coming up on August 18th. And if you're a live show fan, come check out Castaway. It's my pride and joy, and I will probably do it forever for the rest of my natural existence. We're almost done with Castaway the Desert. Second to last episode is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, and the big finale will be next week. And the big finale is where I'll be announcing what season 3 is and who's in season 3. I can't say a lot yet because that's my secret I want to hold on to, but I can tell you it will be cool.
You heard it here first.
And that's it. When Castaway is over, we're going to do a mini series in September, GM'd by Dusty Hill, over from Goblets and Gays, running their original system, Trans Vampire Cowboys. It's about that, and it's going to be very good. And I've been hiding in their chat, watching them scheme, and I can't wait to see what happens on that show. A real killer cast coming up on that one. So give us a follow wherever you enjoy podcasts, on Twitch. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you just like to watch VODs without a chat hankering you down. We're everywhere.
Thank you all again. Thank you, Rex, for the resubscription. 3 years. That is ridiculous.
Let's go.
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
wild.
Let's
Thank you
absolutely
to
go.
all of our new followers. Thank you to everyone who came and hung out. As always, I say this every time, but it genuinely, you make my Tuesday better every single week. So thank you all for hanging out. This started as a thing we were going to do between actual plays, and it's just become a thing that everyone likes, so we keep doing it. So thank you for showing up every week, or else we wouldn't keep doing it probably. So you all are wonderful. As always, we are going to go find someone to raid. So in the meantime, be kind to yourself, be excellent to others, and we will see y'all next time.